Boy, I just about missed my sweet spot going by as I was approaching 15 minutes. Whew. But we're okay. We're copacetic. Are you copacetic? I'm copacetic. So, do you like big words? Is that one of your criteria? You like big words? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I learned how to say that with Mary Poppins in the early 60s. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Okay, so language, communication, we're talking about the intimacy stack. You see, as above, so below, fractals. If you succeeded in coming up with an acceptable goal model, here, you as a systems developer, you want to assess skeleton code. You want to assess, can that be used here? Even though you may be talking at a different level or spot, dot in the system. Do you know what a dot is? Do you know what a point is? Do you know what a fulcrum is? Do you know what a lever is? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I know better because of my science background. I sometimes assume people just know this stuff, you know? You know? I know you know. So I'm looking at the intimacy stack because one of the non machine per se subjects has to, I mean, the intimacy stack is more for use with humans and how humans get to a point of love and authority. And of course, the key thing is intimacy, and that doesn't necessarily mean sex. It often includes sex. It could include sex. I'd like it to include sex, but it doesn't have. It has nothing to do with sex. So that said, so I've kind of got your mind right a bit, and maybe shifted your ontology closer to mine. Oh my God, I did it again. So mind has an ontology that's like the current main ontology being used. So does the other mind. And part of their coming to consensus or coming to an understanding would to try to do acts that will shift the focus of ontology until they're both on the same ontology. See, I told you this knowledge server ontology stuff would burden very rapidly expand to a huge burden. In an engineering term, I would say not trivial. So I don't know. Careful what you wish for. You might just get it. And part of why I don't think it's not our current now, is I'm not that sure I want it. Be careful what you wish for. You might just get it. And the more I've reviewed my life, I've found out more and more, yeah, with a bigger picture, that's what happened. So, language, communication. Yeah, what are we doing here? I have no idea. He's got something in mind. Really? I don't think so. I've been looking at him, and I think he's asleep. No, I don't. I don't think he's asleep. Sleep. I'm not asleep. Yay. So you got to understand, I admire people like Pee Wee Herman. Okay, enough said. And yes, we're about humor. And once again, I'll put in the pitch. We don't just read jokes or tell jokes. We write jokes. We publish jokes. Yeah. Helen will be able to tell jokes. That's what, as they call it, low hanging fruit. Now, if you're going to go for low hanging fruit, there's some foibles. There's some foibles to take into consideration. It's always very tempting because it's low hanging fruit because it's available. That's what you're saying. Um, as opposed to like gravy. The gravy's gone. 15 years ago, I could have made millions on the internet if I didn't have my personal things going on, because it was gravy. You could start up a website like Ticker or X or whatever it's called. That kind of case study of a business. Yeah, you could do just about anything and throw something out there and make a fortune off of it. Fortunately, my partner had abandoned me years before, but had yet to tell me that that was the situation. So what could have been never came about. But, and it's a big but, such a big but. What am I talking about? Language, communication. We've gone through, okay, we've gotten a ways, but there's something in common. Yeah, yeah, there needs to be a detection. And again, when feasible, agents do the work. It's a society of agents. Ask Marvin Minsky, he'll tell you. So, what's an agent? Well, we've already covered that. If you don't know what an agent is, ciao, ciao. Go, go away and find out. Go do some research because agents are very, very important. And if you're going to program agents, I'm pretty sure you'll end up with object oriented programming. And that's tricky because what object oriented programming is it embeds some code, which code is behavior. It embeds some behavior into that object. But see, the thing is, where the innovation comes in is usually you'd move your data around and the processing would have to be separated and calls on the database server and that kind of a thing. With object oriented programming, the idea is that each instance of the object, because you might create hundreds, thousands of objects, crank them out, taking memory. Yeah, don't forget you're taking up memory, um, which is something I need to keep in mind because a lot of my designs I very well could use like 10,000, even a million. At a million, my experience is that Microsoft technology starts breaking down and not very usable. So, what was I talking about? Does it matter? Do you care? Do I care? If you don't care, we don't care. Which is a lesson learned when you're getting work stressed out and worked out and stuff and getting all upset. If you got like a stakeholder or something, you're doing it for them, then ask, well, I know I care. I'm a perfectionist. I love doing great work. But do they care? See, that's what they're if they're funding you, if they're funding the project and presumably they want to own the deliverable, then although that's a whole nother entrepreneur area you can go, and I'm gonna try not to go there now. Uh, many ways to monetize, so many ways to monetize. Cookie, cookie. If you're gonna make a cookie or a cracker, at least make it so you can throw it in whole into a mouth. Especially because when you try to eat it like in 3 bites or so, it starts crumbling all over the place. Yeah, here's a quickie. I don't really use a dinner table. I very rarely eaten at a table when I eat.